Hey, you guys, I am back with another video, and today's topic, we are talking all about 8 self-care tips that every woman over 40 needs to know. Y'all know this channel is all about self-care, personal hygiene, motivation, and a little bit of entrepreneurship. So if any of those topics interest you, stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and give this video a thumbs up if something resonates or helps you. So let's jump right into it. So a little disclaimer before we get started, we have a new addition to our family. We have a little puppy, and his name is Brownie. And if you hear him whining in the background, we are currently training him. So he has to learn. He cannot just roam around all over the house. He's in his little crate now. We'll probably take him out in a little bit. But anyhow, it's so funny. It's so funny how you had to ask me if I was getting a dog over 20-something years ago. I would have told you, heck no. But anyway, we love our little puppy. So the first tip, in order for you to take care of yourself, is be gentle with yourself. You know how you would treat your child or your little puppy, if for that matter, because he's like a little baby too. You wouldn't necessarily beat your child up every time they make a mistake, every time they do something that doesn't really sit too well with you. You wouldn't really just be so hard on them. You would be soft with them. So in essence, give yourself some grace. You are human. We all are human. And at this age in the game, we've all made some mistakes. And if anybody's telling you once they reach 40, well, I'm 42, if they reach this age and they haven't made a mistake, they're lying. So be gentle with yourself, because you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna say some things you don't mean to say. You're gonna say some things that you can't take back. You're gonna do some crazy stuff throughout your life. But give yourself some grace and be gentle with yourself. That's number one. Number two is move your body. That means we got to exercise. And I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, at this age, I do not like working out. And I just have to be honest with myself. I don't like working out, but you know, for those of you that have watched my previous videos, you all know that I did have a stroke back in February, and it was an eye-opener. But it wasn't because I wasn't taking care of myself. It was mainly due to a lot of stress, because I drink my smoothies and I work out at least twice a week, you know. So it wasn't that, it's just with everything that's going on, it was a lot of stress and it just got the best of me, I guess. But anyhow, so I've made a pact with myself that I would work out at least twice a week, 5 minutes a day. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I used to do 15, 20 minutes. I try, by the time 10 minutes get here, I'd be just huffing and puffing. But I try to wake up every morning. Y'all know I'm an early bird. I get up at 4:30 every morning, and it's like clockwork. So I get up and, you know, say my prayers, and I try to do my 20-something jumping jacks. I do my little push-ups. Push-ups and me, we ain't really all that best friends, but I be trying. But I do my little sit-ups. To be honest with you, I don't really do sit-ups because I don't know how to do them properly or something. But anyway, I make sure I move, and I try to do my leg workouts, my arm workouts. So I'm moving my body, because y'all know when you get a certain age, working out is pretty much, you got to psych yourself into it. So move your bodies, lady, because when you get this age, you know, stuff don't really work like it used to work when you was in your 20s. You know, you could bounce back and get that little stomach flat and all that stuff, but them days over here gone. You know, when you could just do all that. Yeah, I can get my stomach down, but I promise you it ain't gonna ever be flat again. You know, I just had to come to that realization, and I hope you come to that realization as well, especially after you've had 2 babies. I've had 2 cesareans, and even if my stomach get the flattest it's gonna get, I'll still have that little flap down there because I had a cesarean. So I'm not gonna be hard on myself. I'm gonna love all of this, whether it got little rolls here and there or whatever. It's my body. I don't give a one, and I'm gonna represent it to the fullest. And I suggest you come to terms with that as well. And number three is all about getting you some type of support system. I don't care if it's somebody from your church, your parents, a therapist, whatever you need to do to keep your mind sane, to keep yourself, to give yourself a break. Because here's the thing, we as women, especially when we get in our 40s, life starts to take a different direction, and if you're raising children like I am, you have to train your children to know when it's time for mommy to have some downtime, because you need that for your psyche. You need that. Yes, we could be superwoman, but I'm here to tell you, you need to let that superwoman cape just burn that baby, because you need some help. And I know now, being that I'm not close to my parents, I do miss being in the facility with my parents, but I don't want to be too close to my hometown. That's just not what I want to do. So, when my mom can come visit, you best believe I'm all for it. When I get the chance to go home, right now I'm still under doctor's care. I can't really drive that far, but when I get a chance to, I'm going home, because you need somebody that you can pick up the phone to if something's going on, that you can talk to, whether it's one of your siblings, your cousins, your mom, whoever you are close to, that you can pick up the phone and call. Because here's the thing, not only do you need to build that support system relationship with them, they need to build it with you, and you need to build it with them, because everybody needs somebody every now and again. You just can't do everything by yourself. So getting a great support system will help your mind. I'm telling you, it will help you in the long run. Okay. And number 4 is take some time out for yourself. Listen, you can't keep running around here on fumes. You can't keep running around here with your cup half empty, and then you sitting up and you upset and you mad because everybody else around you is happy-go-lucky, and you still trying to figure out, why are everybody around me that happy and I'm drained? That's because you're not taking time out for yourself. I tell myself every day, I'm gonna put myself on the couch at least for 1 hour. Because I need that time to myself. You always gotta be in the constant reminder of building your cup up, filling your cup up, keeping it full, because what's in the cup is for you, but what spills out of the cup is for other people. So you got to know when to take some time out for yourself and stop feeling guilty. I'm telling you, y'all, that guilt trip ain't no joke, because it seems like every time I'm laying down relaxing, my brain is always saying, well, you need to get up and do this. And y'all know I love to keep my house clean. You need to get up. I start, my children have chores. They've had chores since they was little. It's all about how you train them. They wash their own clothes. And sometimes when I'm in a cleaning mood, I be washing and cleaning everything. And they love that, because I be in my cleaning mode. But for the most part, they clean their own room up. They wash their own clothes. My son has his own bathroom. He cleans his bathroom. I don't have to do all of that. You need to start taking some workload off of yourself. And especially if you're a single mom, because it's just a lot going on. But listen, sometimes you just gonna say, look, them clothes will get washed when I get to them. The floors will get mopped when I get to it. Right now, I need to take some time out and relax. I don't care if it's a walk around the block. I don't care if you go jogging. Maybe you want to go out and get you something to eat instead of cooking. Because I know lately, I ain't been feeling like cooking jack. We've been eating out. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't feel bad. Yes, I can throw down in the kitchen when I get ready. I'm a Southern woman. I know how to cook. Believe that. But I cook when I get ready. My kids are teenagers. If I don't want to cook a meal every day, they know how to cook. It's always something in there for them to eat, so they're not starving. So I had to let that stuff go. You can't be making yourself feel bad because you don't want to cook. Listen, long gone them days when women are in the kitchen all day. I'm a firm believer. I love to make a nice meal, but preparation time, 30 minutes or under. I don't like being in the kitchen all day. I can throw down in the kitchen, but I ain't finna do that every day. I'm just not finna do that. And so if I want to order in pizza or Panda Express or something, I don't feel bad. My family is eating, and they're eating healthy. So every now and again, you just got to cut yourself some slack and say, listen, I'm going to take some time out for myself. I'm not going to cook today. I'm just going to relax. Whatever the case may be, when you get off work, if you want to ride around the neighborhood just to clear your head, do what you need to do to take care of you. Because here's the thing, you can't take care of nobody else. Your spouse, your kids, your grandbabies, nobody else if you are not up to par. And y'all best believe, if you get sick, the house is not gonna run the same. It may still run, but it ain't gonna run the same. And it's so funny how we are that glue that keeps that family together. You know, especially if you're a good person, if you're a good woman, you keep your household functioning correctly. But when you're down, it's not gonna be the way you want it. So it's your choice and your decision to make sure you're taking care of yourself and taking some time out for yourself at least once a week. And then my next tip is be honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. If it's something that you don't want to do, don't feel bad because you said no. And I'm jumping ahead of myself because that's one of the tips too. But if you know you don't want to do something, stop doing stuff that you don't want to do. Stop hanging around people that you know don't like you, that you know you don't fit in. Listen, everybody's not gonna like you, boo. Everybody. I don't care if you could be the best of the best. You could be the best woman that you can be. You can do top notch at your job. But somebody still is not gonna like you, and that's just the way it is. You're not everybody's cup of tea, but you best believe you somebody's cup of tea. So when you can learn that and understand that everybody is not going to like you, that's when you start to be really real and honest with yourself, that it's okay. It is okay that everybody don't like you, and you don't want everybody to like you. Because here's the thing, you gotta be able to decipher and figure out who needs to be in your inner circle. And that takes some discernment, that takes some praying, that takes a lot of things. But when you be honest with yourself, you stop living in a fantasy. I remember when I was young, I had this whole idea of how I wanted my life to go, how I wanted things to be in my life. I wanted to be here by the time I was this age. And when you get past your 40, you stop living in them fantasy worlds because it doesn't exist. If you want an amazing life, you're going to have to create that life. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to work on your childhood traumas. You're going to have to work on issues that you haven't dealt with. Yeah, it may not be easy, but you're going to have to deal with it if you want to be the best version of yourself. And this is in this day in the game. See, you're in your 40s. So think of it as this is your rebirth. This is your refresher. Because here, you've made it through your 20s. You made it through your 30s. And if you, like me, you learned a lot about yourself in those years. But in your 40s, you got to reach a certain point in your life where you say, you know what? I'm willing to do anything. As long as it's not harmful, I'm willing to do the work. Because I promise you guys, I've learned so much about myself within these last 2 years, especially with this pandemic. The pandemic, I tell people, it wasn't all bad. The pandemic really forced me to really get beyond where I was, because I had gotten to a place where I was stuck. And you'll get to that place when you reach a certain age, you'll get stuck, but you got to be honest with yourself to say, hey, okay, it's time to do something different. Hey, you've been doing this for the last several years and it ain't, how's that working out for you? You got to have those hard questions with yourself and be honest enough to tell yourself the truth, because the truth will set you free. Trust me, I know. And then the next tip is have some type of self-care ritual or routine during the week. And I know, we always talk about getting your nails done, maintenance hair and all that stuff. But when I say a routine, I'm going to dig a little deeper than that. Because though I do those things for myself as well, you got to take some time out to feed your mind spiritually, feed your mind, what's going on mentally for you. Because you can have it all together physically. But what's your mental capacity saying about you? Are there some things you're thinking about? Because your energy is a compilation of the things that's going on in your mind. Sometimes your mind can be so stressed and drained that it shows up And for me, being that I have thyroid problems, you know, my weight fluctuate as is anyway. And then you add stress to that, it's a whole other ball game. So when I say have a ritual, maybe you can, I know one of my rituals when my kids were a little bit smaller, I used to go to Barnes and Nobles and just sit there for an hour or two while they were still in school and read some of my favorite motivational books. Sometimes I've come out of there reading 2 or 3 books, you know, because that was my way of feeding my mind positivity. That was my way of winding down, you know, relaxing for the day. When I got off work, I would head to the library to read. Or maybe you want to go for a walk in the park. Sometimes, you know, being around nature, I don't know about you, but when I'm out around nature, around water, and though I can't swim, just to look at the different waves, the way the water moves, or sometimes just looking in the sky at the clouds, it's amazing how God created all of this stuff. And so when I'm out and just with my thoughts, it soothes me. It calms me down. It relaxes me. So when I say your weekly ritual self-care routine, what is it that you can do to regroup, to pour more back into you? So comment below and let me know what your weekly self-care routines are, or if you need to pick back on it. Maybe you fell off. Let me know in the comments what you do on a weekly basis for self-care. And it goes beyond getting your nails done, getting your toes done, getting your hair done, all that stuff. What are you doing to really keep your body in shape, mentally, spiritually, physically? What are you doing every week to... And here's a tip that I tell you guys. Start putting yourself on a calendar once a week to just do something fun, whether that's go read a book, watch a movie, take a power nap, whatever it is. Put yourself on the calendar, just like you do all your other family members, appointments and all of that. Put yourself on the calendar and see how that starts to work out for you. I promise you, you'll start to feel more better and have more pep in your step and everything. But let me know what your self-care routine ritual is. And then my next tip is learn to say no. Those 2 little words can save your life, honey. I'm telling you, when I was younger, I was the queen of people pleasing. I wanted people to like me. I didn't want to make nobody mad. I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You know, family member would call, be wanting me to do things or want money from me. And though I didn't have it necessarily extra to give, I would do it because it was looked at as, I had it all together and all that kind of stuff. But in actuality, I'm getting things together just like everybody else. I used to, didn't know how to say no without feeling guilty. Didn't know how to say no without feeling bad. Didn't want to hurt anybody else's feelings or didn't want anybody to be angry with me. But here's the thing, honey, when you get my age, you're going to learn to say no and probably say it as fast as you can blink your eyes, because at this game, you got to look out for you. And I'm not saying, just be selfish where you don't want to help people and give, because y'all know I love to give. And I don't broadcast that on social media. I don't do none of that. When I give, it's between me and God and whoever I'm helping, because that's something I've always learned. I've always loved to do, is to give back. But when I'm saying learning how to say no, sometimes you just got to learn how to say no, because certain people will start to take advantage of you. When they know that you do stuff and you really don't want to do it, they play on your guilt. They play on your feeling bad about it. Honey, say no. No. I want you to practice that with me. Say no. No. But no. No, I can't do that. You ain't got to explain why you can't do it. You ain't got to go. I used to go into a whole big spiel why I couldn't do this. Oh, I can't come, girl, because, I got to cook and I got this and I got to go to work and you ain't got to do all that explaining. No is a complete sentence. Say no, mean it. But see, here's the thing. This is what used to trip me up. I used to say no, but then go back on my no and do it anyway. And you can't do that. When you learn that you have the right to say no to other people so you can say yes to yourself, that right there woke me up, because all those times that I was saying yes to other people, I was saying no to me. And I should matter more than everybody else. Because at the end of the day, you got to be your own rescuer. You can't wait on other people to do that. I'm telling you, being that I was the only girl and surrounded by my brothers, they always took up for me, you know, because I was the type, you know, I didn't do no fighting or nothing. I think I've only had to fight one time in my whole entire life, but I'm not a fighter, you know. I don't do that kind of stuff, you know. If something was hurting me, I would always run to my brothers and be like, such and such happened, or don't let me get my heart broken. You know, my big brother was crazy. Sometimes I wouldn't tell him because I knew how crazy he was. But, you know, that's how I always handle things. But as you get older in life, you got to start taking care of you. You can't wait on other people to defend you, to take up for you, to have your back. You got to have your own back. And then you show other people how you have your own back. So does that make sense to you guys? Learning how to say no is saying no to other people to say yes to you. You got to give yourself that. You owe it to yourself. And I always go back to this. Stop allowing people to make you feel guilty, to make you feel embarrassed. If you speak up and tell your own truth, when somebody else tell it, it won't really have an effect on you because you've already told it. You are ahead of the game. And that's why I say so much about when you're an online influencer like myself. I've been on here for years and I've spoken my truth. And so now at this age, at 42, it's nothing you can say about me that I hadn't already said about myself because I put it out there. And then some things I do know at this age, I keep to myself. You know, y'all know my story. That's how I got in all that mess with my mouth, because I talk too much. But now at this age, I know how to keep things just between me and God. And I want you to know how to do that as well. Speak your truth, walk in your truth, but learn how to not allow other people's opinions and other people's, and I'm jumping ahead of myself. And so that is my next one. Mind your own business. Don't worry so much about what other people are saying about you. That's none of your business. You spend your time worrying about who liked you and who said this about you and who did this. It will drive you crazy. So you don't need to be minding other people's business. When you mind your own business, as my grandmother used to say when I was a little girl, when you sweep around your own front door, you don't have time to be checking for other people and seeing what they doing. Because 9 times out of 10, when you point your finger at somebody else and talking about other people's business, you got some skeletons in your closet too. It just may not be on Front Street for everybody to see. But as God says, whatever's done in the dark, honey, it'll come to light. So while you trying to shame somebody else and trying to bring light on somebody else's mistakes and flaws, you got to understand at the end of the day, honey, whatever goes out, it comes back to you. So make sure you are minding your own business. It's a great way to keep peace in your life. It's a great way to enjoy your life. Because when you minding your business and you so much trying to improve yourself, you don't have time to be focused on what everybody else is doing. I'm telling you, I'm a handful. When I get through minding my business, taking care of my household and my children and, you know, things of that nature, I don't have time to be trying to worry about what Sally and Sue down the street doing. I don't have time to be trying to worry about who they with and who they... I take care of me. All I'm worried about and concerned about is who I'm with, what I'm doing. That keeps my life so peaceful. And it'll keep your life peaceful when you stop taking on other people's responsibility. And I add this, stop trying to fix everybody. You can't fix nobody else but yourself. And it's going to take the help of the Lord to even do that. But when you're trying to always be the one to fix everything, because I know that was me, that was my problem. I always wanted to make everything better, wanted to make everybody better, but it was draining the life out of me. Everybody you can't help, and you trying your best. And I'll give you another example. When you're from a very small town and you're trying to, and you got these big dreams and these big goals, stop telling your big dreams to small-minded people, because it's just going to deter you. It's going to make you feel bad because they don't understand your vision. God didn't give it to them. So stop. Sometimes you just got to let people see the end results instead of telling people while it's still in the baby stages. You got to learn how to sometimes keep your business to yourself. Everything is not meant for you to share on social media. Everything is not meant for you to call your girlfriends and talk about them, because it may be too early in the stage. You never know who is plotting against you. You never know who is wanting to see your demise, because as long as you down, People love to see that. People love to be around you when you're at your lowest, because for some reason it makes them feel a little bit better about themselves and their situations. But the minute you try to get better and try to move away from that, that's why I say it's so important to set those boundaries, because people are human. They'll always try to remind you of your past. They'll always try to remind you of what happened to you when, and who did this and who you used to be. Honey, you gotta learn how to forgive yourself first. Stop trying to play God in your life and condemn yourself and make yourself pay. Because see, y'all, I tell y'all this stuff because that was me. For years, I tried to make myself pay for opening my mouth up and causing all that shame on myself and my family. I tried to make myself suffer on this earth because I felt I had did such a disgrace and disservice to my family, to myself, you know, because I was raised in a Christian home. And so my values and morals are as a Christian person. But when I opened my mouth and caused all that shame on me, I try to take that, I took it out on myself. I became very hateful towards myself. I had a lot of self-hatred. And over the years, I had to understand that it was me that was holding me back because I hadn't truly forgiven myself. And I kept trying to hold on to the shame, to the guilt. And it like I said, it will kill you. If you don't learn to forgive yourself properly for the mistakes you made, you gotta own that stuff. See, I own that stuff. I own my mess. I own that I talked myself into it. See, you can talk yourself too much. Some things you just need to leave between you and God, and I didn't do that. And it caused a world of shame, but I'm here to tell you, you can live beyond all that mess, all that pain, all that guilt, because that guilt and shame is what eats at you every day. Even though it happened 20 something years ago, that guilt and shame was still plaguing at me. It was still haunting me. And I had to really just deal with that. And see, that's why I say the pandemic, it wasn't all that bad, because it forced me to really take a deeper look. Even though I wasn't where I used to be, I still had more work to do. And just like so many of you, you're so frustrated and you keep beating yourself up. How long, child, are you going to beat yourself up about a failed marriage? How long are you going to beat yourself up about a misunderstood reputation? How long you going to beat yourself up about having an abortion? How long are you going to beat yourself up for allowing yourself to be a doormat? I'm speaking to somebody on here. Hear me when I say, I know I be goofy a lot, but I'm trying to help you understand that at some point you got to stop beating yourself up about stuff you did in your past. Now is the time for you to take all those things that you've done in your past and those valuable lessons that you learned, and you can help the next woman. That's what makes me feel so good about my past, because I had to go through all that so that I can be here today to help you. Listen to your big sis and avoid opening your mouth too much. Listen to me, because I'm telling you from experience. This is not something I read in a book. This is something I had to overcome. And so when you mind your business and you set those healthy boundaries, sometimes you just got to distance yourself from people. I'm not saying you got to cut people off altogether, but what I am saying is sometimes you have to limit your time around people, because all they do is remind you of what was. They don't see the new you, and you can't wait around for people to see the new you and to see that you've changed. Stop giving your power away to other people. You forgive yourself because you chose to do that. Don't wait around on other people to do that, because they might not never forgive you. They may not ever look at you the same anymore, but you got to be okay with that. Then my next tip is increase your prayer life. I don't know about you guys, but my faith in my prayer life has really helped me through these last few months. So I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, whatever you want to do in the morning when you wake up and before you go to bed. Whatever you do, spend some time praying. And then the next tip is, this is a bonus one. Spend some money on yourself. Stop feeling guilty every time you go in the store and you want something. I don't know about you, but I did it a lot of times. Go in the store and I want to get myself something. I'll pick it up, and then by the time I get ready to check out, I don't put it back. And it's that mommy guilt. You got to let that go. You can do for yourself and not feel guilty. You deserve to have nice things. You deserve to spend money on yourself. That's what you're working for. You ain't just working to pay bills and spend all your money on your children. You got to have some nice stuff too. And so it's okay to spend money on yourself. I'm not saying go out there and go crazy, you know, spending money you should have in a savings, because best believe in this day, I got an emergency fund now. I ain't waiting around, because this economy is crazy. And with all this stuff that's going on, you need an emergency fund. So, but you're not just working to pay bills. It's okay to spend some money on yourself and look nice and keep yourself up. You can't expect other people to do what you can do for yourself. And so these are my tips, you guys. I hope that this blesses you. Even if you're not a woman over 40, take these gems, take it with a grain of salt. If it can help you, that's great. If not, pass it on to somebody else that may have the same, may have the same desires or need to step up their game in the self-care field. And also, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if this video has helped you in some way, if you've gotten something out of this. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, because it does help my channel out. My little channel is growing. I'm thankful, but you guys, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and go ahead and get my watch hour up. I'm almost there. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what your weekly self-care routines are. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Mwah.